Bars are 32 different points on the head that are basically like hitting delete file on your computer back. So, garbage in equals garbage out. So when you have too much stuff on your computer, it sort of jams it and things don't work. So with this stuff, what it does is it eases off your brain waves so that you have a greater possibility of creating more.
My first bars class was amazing. I went on first to the table, and I don't actually remember a lot. I remember having my head touched, and then it was just like this complete blank. I don't even know what I'm thinking right now. And I got off the table, and it was a lot of space, and then I actually got the opportunity to run bars on the other person, and getting off the table again, she was all space, I was space. We kind of looked at each other and went, wow, this is wild.
So I had a bar session, and between having my bars run and the verbal facilitation that she did with me over that hour and a half, I got off the table and I was like, I was speechless, because what we were able to change and how I felt after an hour and a half was like a year with this other lady.
The reason the bars class is a prerequisite for so many of the other access classes is because it's the first class where you actually learn to receive for most people. And so in that, the receiving element is so vital, because if you're sitting in a class, for example, and you have much more capacity to receive, well, you get much more out of that class. If you're sitting across from a friend having a great conversation, your ability to receive means you get way more from that conversation. It changes the fundamentals of how your life shows up for you when you start to open up to receiving.
I think the way I felt about it was new and familiar at the same time. It felt like it makes sense. It felt like it's quite intuitive. And yet I woke up the next morning and I had this sense of lightness that I don't think I ever had before in the morning. When you wake up and you should be like groggy, all sleepy, but then you wake up and you're like, huh, this is totally different.
Over the course of a day, you learn to do it. You trade twice. You're there with a bars facilitator, somebody who knows how to teach you this. And the beauty of it is you leave there and there'll be all kinds of people that you can trade with after that. So you can give bars, you can get bars. It's one of these things that allows you to be a gift to people in your life, like few things on the planet do.
I usually talk about it being something that gets rid of all your, or it can dissipate and get rid of all the monkey mind, words that people understand, all that chatter that goes on your head. And if you're going to experience it, fine, come and have a session, but why wouldn't you learn to do it, and then you can share it with other people?
Everything that I've done from this has been about trying it, finding out how it works. And this is what I try and encourage people to do. You don't think it works? Try it. See what works for you. Because if you find out that it works for you, then you've got a tool for the rest of your life.
And so my son, who was 9 at the time, he and I did it together. And she said, practice it for 30 days. And so I practiced it for 30 days. Every day, my son and I did. And then I was like, who else can I get my hands on? And then I have more people come and more people come. It just dissolves. It's not like the thing that's there comes back. It's just